We go on a school camp every year, and every year we go to the same boring chalet by the beach. But this year we were doing somewhere different. What is a jungle experience? My younger brother, Aaron, was reading the flyer about it. Aaron is 10. I am Alvin Yeo, and I am a year older. It means we get to live in the jungle for 3 days. But won't we be attacked by wild animals or snakes? Aaron's imagination drives me crazy. I decided to tease him. It all depends on where we have to sleep. Aaron shivered. I don't feel like being eaten alive. Mom looked up from her book. Stop worrying your brother, Alvin. The school camp will be properly supervised and you'll be staying in a nice chalet by a lake, which is full of crocodiles, I joked. Alvin, my mom shot me one of her warning looks. Aaron had turned pale. It sounds scary. That's because of all those ghost stories you read. I laughed. They don't have ghosts in the jungle. Well, not many. All our friends were going to the camp. Titan Tan's parents were setting her. Titan is my age and she is the best looking girl in this school. And the sisters who catch our bus to school, Christine and Madeline Lien, were going to be there too. Christine is 10 and Madeline is 9. When the day came for the bus to pick us up, Mom and Dad waved goodbye. Remember to behave yourself, said Dad. And what have you got to do after every meal? Asked Mom. Brush our teeth, we answered. It was early in the morning and the bus had a long drive. We settled back to enjoy the scenery and Aaron soon fell asleep. His snoring got so loud I could hardly hear what Titan Tan was talking about. So I had to move closer to her. Alvin, we have lots of things to do in the jungle, she told me. Jungle treks, boating on the lake, visits to the wildlife center. But we're only there for 3 days, I said. How can we do all that? My aunt went to Europe last year. Titan smiled. Every day she saw a different country. When the bus reached the jungle highway, Aaron woke up and started eating biscuits. His crunching was almost as loud as his snoring. When do we get there? He asked Titan. She checked her watch. Another hour. Endless stretches of jungle flashed by. The sun was rising higher and burning off the early morning mist. Aaron chewed away, looking out the window in case he saw a monkey. At last the bus turned off the highway. We were driving on a narrow road that wound down into a valley. The corners were very sharp, and I think Aaron was so sorry he'd eaten so much. He looked a bit green around the mouth. There's the lake, Titan pointed to a glimpse of water through the trees. She put on a jacket. It was getting chilly, so we reached the floor of the valley. It's going to be cold at night down there. That's what Mom had said when she packed sweaters and tracksuits for us. I thought jungles were always hot places. The bus put up outside a little cluster of buildings, nestling on the shores of a huge lake. The jungle surrounded us on all sides. The teacher in charge, Mr. Choi, explained where everything was. He pointed to a long hall sitting on stilts and built with logs under timber like a real jungle house. That's the main building where we'll have our meals and our group activities. Then he pointed to the small chalets on the water's edge. We'll sleep in the chalets. 2 are for girls, 2 are for boys. All the beds have mosquito nets, and you must make sure you pull them down before you go to sleep. Each chalet has its own bathroom. Then he called our names and told us which rooms and beds we had given. Aaron and I were going to be in the second chalet. He gave us half an hour to get unpacked and report to the main building. After a late breakfast, he announced, "We are going for a trek." Everyone raced to the chalet. We found a room and started to unpack. The room had 6 beds with mosquito nets hanging above them. The windows were also covered with netting and had big wooden shutters. "They forgot to put any glass in them," complained Aaron. "You don't have glass windows in the jungle," I told him. "If it rains, you close the shutters." The other boys came in and unpacked too. When they raced outside again, Aaron looked at me. "Alvin, I think I want to go home," he said softly. I laughed. "Why? Because there aren't any glass windows?" He shook his head. "Can't you feel it?" he asked in a low voice. I rolled my eyes. "Aaron, don't get all spooky." "I'm not," he glared at me. "It's just that, well, can't you feel that someone is watching us?" I looked around the empty room. The sunlight was streaming in, and the lake sputtered outside. It didn't feel dangerous to me. Sometimes Aaron really made me angry. "There's nothing to be afraid of," I told him. "And anyhow, who wants to watch us?" He said nothing, just turned and walked out the door. If only I had listened to him. I glanced around and followed him. It was just like Aaron, I thought, trying to spoil everything. If only I had looked up at the ceiling. In one corner beyond the reach of the sunlight, something was moving. Its wings stirred. There was a strange sound like a sigh, and then it was still again. The huge black and gold butterfly was watching and waiting.